Hello, Medium fans! We're here with another Eternal Deck Tech / Ranked video. If you want to look at the actual deck tech, look in the description down below. This is the Tournament of Power list sent in by Celtic Guardian. It was our second place finisher, and it was allowed to be viewed here as because our first place finisher allowed it. It was just a Night Maul deck, which is cool, but we've seen it before, and so I wanted to do this one. It's a Diogo kind of value list. I'm going to keep this, because we do have Pledge. We want to Pledge with Vanguard Bayonet. It's a little bit awkward, considering we don't have another unit, but I think that the Pledge is strong enough that we definitely want to keep it. And now we have our units, so that's good. We also happen to have removal, so it's not that bad. Like, we have some proactive things that we can do, even if we're not immediately drawing a unit. Auric Vigilante. Hello. That's an interesting card. I'm just going to pop it now, so they're not gaining any extra power when they attack on it. I'd be interested to see what this deck is. In any case, big shout out to all the subs and patrons who make this possible and sent in all of these cool deck lists today. This is not like a meme kind of Diogo list either. This isn't like the Invoke the Waystones version. This is the more mid-rangey kind of version. It's a very interesting little list here. Alright, so they took the Vanguard's Bayonet, which is probably correct. A little obnoxious, but correct. I could just Torgov's Trading Outpost, play the banner, and then next turn do something different. Torgov's to get Call the Ancients is kind of nice. What would I want to trade out of the market? Nothing too good yet. I'm actually just going to Torgov's and we'll just wait. They don't have enough pressure to kill it. It lets me get the banner down here without having to worry about it being tapped later. Or, sorry, depleted later. It's been a year and a half since I've played Magic and I still use Magic terms all the time, so I apologize. Ooh. Display of Instinct can help. Sure. Diogo. That is a card we are looking for. So, the big question is, do I display this so that I can try and get the trader? I think that I do. I'm a little worried about how many power cards it's getting rid of here. It is a little bit obnoxious that way.
Trust in yourself.
Feels bad to use a display just to kill that. But it is keeping our site alive, and that's kind of huge. We do get a blocker next turn. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well then. Nothing I can do about that, huh? If I had one more power card, maybe I should have just bought him Diogo. Alright. So close to trader. That's okay. Saved me a bunch more damage. We killed the one unit. It's not the end of the world. Equivocate on that'll be nice. And they kept on top, which is good to know. Oof. We hit one of our two channels. Kind of unfortunate. I might just trade it away for now. It's probably the correct thing to do. So I'm going to go Smuggler. Trade this. Get the Equivocate. We can Bear Guard and immediately ramp. We now have Diogo with the ability to amplify next turn, which is pretty sweet. And I'm just going to pass. I'm going to wait and see what they do first.
Our reason will are unbreakable.
Ooh.
Face judgment.
Nasty. Already get a 4-3. It's pretty good. They reading it. Did they think that it pumped Valkyrie in play? It does not. It's not text that comes up too often, but it does pump Valkyrie in your hand, so they might have been thinking that. Alright, let's amplify! We gotta hope that we high roll. I'm gonna slam in here. If they really want to trade, I'm more than happy to do it. And we're in a decent racing position, too. I'm playing the power card because we want to try and get close to this channel of Tempest. Desecrate. Yeah, that's fine. Diogo wasn't doing that much, so I'm like actually kind of happy they didn't go for the Howling peak here, honestly.
Face judgment.
Because the extra damage on the burn might be a lot more important.
Fresh
Alright, well,
kills make the best pelts.
we're gonna swap this and get Howling peak so we can start killing some of these flyers. I'd really like it if they traded. Perfect. Okay, that helps a lot. Wonder what they got from the Equivocate. I've got to imagine we probably see it now. Smart play going for the revenge. Knowing that Sabotage probably isn't super useful here. With us with only one card in hand. I don't know though, we did just get it out of the market. Yeah, I'm not 100% on that one. In any case, time to try and blow it up. Please, please, please work. Okay. Go after that. Nice. Now we're in great position. Next turn, we can Caleb's, go up to 8, Diogo twice. We still haven't hit one of the Destinies. Ooh. That was a pretty good Equivocate for them. Not amazing, but definitely good.
Buying or not?
Yikes. 5/3 flyer is pretty real. I mean, I could mirror image. Hold up. Thank you. Let's get channel. There's nothing too important. I think that I'd rather just get to 8.
Who says you can't play with fire?
I mean, attack seems okay here. We desperately need to draw all these Destiny cards. We've got a bunch of them. We'll be able to take down the Howling Peak. And they've gone to the market. Oof. I thought we were in pretty good shape, but they've drawn really well out of this. Yeah. They maybe should have ordered that a little differently. That's good for us, because hopefully that'll draw us some Destinies. Here we go. Do you want to kill Dizo's office, or do we want to kill the Teriax? Kind of want to do both, but I think that the office is more important. Both of them are going to be pretty important. Okay, so we can Great Valley trade to get the channel, or I can just Excavate. That's not unreasonable either, actually.
Fresh kills make the best pelts.
You know, I actually like Excavate. Just pass the turn.
What are you gonna do?
Luckily, I have a response. We just Excavate it, Sabotage doesn't do anything, and we get to put Destiny back on top. Good thing that doesn't return it to our hand, otherwise that could have been... Well, I mean, I guess it would have been fine, because we could just play it.
Listen to this.
Get that out of the way. Ooh, 2 more Amplifies? Heck yes. Most of our deck is going to have Destiny for the actual spells now. We just need to actually draw them.
Ignite your inner fire.
This Amplify is certainly not bad either.
I play for you.
We're putting them down to 1? Ooh. Just taking it all is pretty good.
Our wings and will are unbreakable.
You buying or not?
Wow, another Merchant and the Destiny. They might still have a way out of this. We've only hit 1 Destinied spell so far, which is kind of crazy.
Listen to this.
Okay, Jennev Contraband is interesting, I suppose. Although, getting Iceberg Hailshrieker for the win is pretty amazing. Alright, so... Granted, we've got a lot of ways to win this. But We're gonna throw a nice little snowball here. Splat! Oh, that's sweet. Alright, game 2. We have another pledge card, but this one, like, this hand seems a lot worse. I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned about this one. We do have a couple draws here because we are on the draw. I'm actually going to keep this. This may seem really, really, really wild, but having a hand with both Bearguard Bayonet and a pledge is just really, really nice. Well, just alright. And, wow, the most awful, awful luck possible. That's pretty unlikely to happen, but what do you do? I was going to say, at least it's not too bad because the shakedown lets us draw extra cards. Wow. I talk about this a lot on my stream, where you've got to look at what the hand could be rather than just what it is, and look at the odds of what your draws are. The odds that we draw a unit here are actually not that bad, because we have quite a few units, so it doesn't seem as bad as you'd think, especially when you consider you have a lot of power in your hand, so the odds of drawing power are down quite a bit. That being said, sometimes you're just incredibly unlucky, like me, and you just draw real, real bad. So, that's unfortunate, but I guess it happens. There's a lot of power cards we're hitting here, and our opponent is just going off. This is incredible. I will definitely trade. I mean, we're already stuck with a billion power. We might as well trade off while we can. We'll just pass. We still have outs to this. Just a really, really unlucky start. Like, incredibly so. And a very, very, very sick start from our opponent. This is a, I mean, as a mill Black Iron Manacles deck, I can't imagine that there's much that you'd want more than this. This is pretty insane. Definitely top tier draw. Very sick start. Oh. Kill that. We're very unlikely to be able to get out of this. I don't know that I should have played Diogo without actually getting some amount of amplify on it. They're just going to solitude us now. Yep. And we're just dead. Cool enough. I mean, tough to beat a turn 6 kill like that, especially when we got so incredibly unlucky on our draw there. But it happens. I kept a risky one for sure too, but man, that just ended up incredibly bad. We got more punished than we definitely should have been. Alright, this is an unfortunate hand. I don't like that we don't have any fire. I like that we have the pledge, but I think that we need to mulligan this one. To go back to that last game, though, and really quickly talk about, like, how I say people don't really consider the hands that they can get. Like, they don't think about the cards they're drawing. I did a bunch of quick math as to our odds of actually just drawing a unit by turn 3, so, and a playable unit by turn 3. So only included the units that were of cost 3 or less, and in that 3 draws, we would have had a 50% chance of hitting a unit that was 3 or less. And it's not including any of the hits that are like Torch, Display, Wisdom of the Elders, any of those kinds of cards as well. If you include those as well, the odds of us drawing anything playable that was 3 or less that would have been good for us and would have made that hand fairly keepable was at 80%. So, I mean, when you have the Bearguard Bayonet and you have a pledge unit, and the deck's kind of built around some of that stuff, I don't think that keeping a hand like that on the draw is nearly as bad as what it seems. Should I have kept it there? Maybe not, but if you're thinking that, like, oh, that's really bad and obviously you got punished appropriately, the odds were actually in our favor to hit something there. And that, especially once they hit Nightfall, we just got really unlucky. It's just a thing that happens. Let's go for another time here, because we do need the double time. I'll eventually need double Primal as well, but I mean, obviously we have both Moonstone Vanguards in our hand. Nice. Very good answer to us. Excellent draw. Now we can't play anything. So that really sucks. Unfortunate luck for us. Yeah, really, really bad, because we could have actually displayed an instinct that. Now we're stuck with it on the field. Getting some really awkward draws here, some pretty unlucky ones. We need to be on the play one of these times. That's really, really unfortunate, though. Just very unlucky. If they didn't have the Vara's favor, it's so easy for us to pick that off. Even just if we had an undepleted power, so we could have held up display. I guess without a unit, then it wouldn't have mattered. Ugh. Brutal. Brutal, brutal. So... I want to get Equivocate, because obviously we're going to have to deal with that.
Fresh kills make the best
Could
pets.
trade the display. I think it's better to trade the Moonstone Vanguard. The reason being that we already have 2 units. It's more likely that we'll want to play display and Equivocate. Hopefully they don't continue to have a lot of gas here. And we're just going to pass. I get to hold up display and Equivocate. If they're just going to do that, then we'll Equivocate. Even if they have Backlash, we had Display of Instinct to stop that. Are they just a Felon control list? Seems like they might be. Wow. Give them another legend, huh? Alright. That's kind of unfortunate for us. Will Diogo amplify, though? Just start getting that value destiny going. Giving them Bartholo is very scary, though. They're even close to ultimating it. I'm not sure if they actually have a relic, but I guess we'll find out, right? Seriously hoping not.
The Found show no mercy.
There's the champ. Vara plus champion is always a weird one. It's such an incredible non-bow, but they're both very, very powerful cards, so it's hard not to run some of them together. Still, really, really unlucky that we gave them Bartholo. Ugh. Giving them a really good unblockable legend with Aegis is so sick for this, especially with the champion. Yeah, nothing we can do about this. A little bit unlucky here. The Equivocate being real bad for us, and us just being on the draw, just always down a little bit. No attack with the champion. That's very strange, but I guess I'm happy enough with it. I'm gonna Frost Talisman as much as that kind of sucks, because at least then I can stun this, and then maybe kill it. I don't know how we actually get through, though. We'll see. Hoping they block. Alright. I mean, we're dead either way. Oh well. Unfortunate game. Really, really sick start from our opponent. Absolutely busted. If we'd have been on the play, or if they just didn't have the Vara's favor, very, very different game, but they had exactly what they needed, exactly all the points, and we just kind of stumbled a little bit. Okay, we've had some really, really rough losses here. We can go Darya into Glasshopper with this hand, and we've got the Jennev cargo, so this hand seems pretty reasonable. We've had a few that have seemed reasonable, and our opponents just had absolutely insane nut draws against us, though. We're on the draw again, which is kind of nasty. I'm gonna get another time sigil here, because we do need double time. A little bit more often than we need double fire. We've already got the double primal. And I could Glasshopper, or we could just Torgov. I think I'm going to Torgov. Get the call right away. And make it so they've got some pressure. Like, now they have to answer something. It looks like they're probably, like, FJP control, and that means that we're putting them in a position where they need to, like, land merchants early or something to try and pressure us. Something they don't necessarily do that well. Let's go ask for directions. Do we want to keep a torch? That's a tougher one. Because, I mean, torch is good, and it helps us protect the site, but that might not be super important. We already have one. I think I'm going to bottom it. I'd rather hit things like Diogo. The Glasshopper is really nice. Helps us play Diogos a little bit earlier. Getting them on 5 is great. Sure. Ooh. Well, this is excellent. So we've got a bunch of options here. We can attack. If they block, then we can torch it. If they don't block, well, then we just get to Howling, Peak Smuggler, and torch it anyways. Both of these are solutions that I kind of like. I'm going to trade off the channel, though, and we're going to go for the Howling Peak. And goodbye, Vargo. It's very possible they have a harsh rule here, like some kind of board wipe, but using it just to get, you know, a Howling Peak Smuggler and a Glasshopper is not amazing.
Let us make bargain, da.
I'm a little less excited about this. Because they're setting up for a harsh rule, and I don't love that we don't... Like, I don't love that our hand is all just adding to the board. So if we add to the board, we're setting up for the harsh rule to just be devastating, which I don't particularly like. Still gonna do this because I really want to get to the Howling Peak. The big question is, do I want to play a Darya and Berserk? It's pretty bad if they wipe the board right after this. If they don't, it's amazing. But I still have the option of doing that the next turn anyways, because I can just Darya, Berserk this, and we're good. I think I'm just going to leave it. I don't need to add more into the face of a pretty obvious harsh rule if they have it. Okay. And I mean, if they don't, now I get to Darya, put it onto this anyways, and we're still kind of in the same position. Vanquish. Alright. And I'm more than happy to let that die. I don't even want to get power out of our deck right now. I wouldn't mind hitting more power. Gun down the bear. Slam for 3. And things are looking up. We're doing pretty good. I'm going to hold on to the fire sigil so that we can mirror image and switch it out for something that's more useful. They could easily have a torch to stop this.
A great find.
No. I think I like the clutch. Only costs 6 for it to go off. Let's see what we get out of this. Thudrock, Arctic Artisan. Probably the best card out of this. Big question is, do I put anything else onto the board? I'd say at this point, yes.
Ignite your inner fire.
Gonna amplify once, and we'll just slam. Defiance, sure.
You will pay for your crimes.
That's more than fine for us. I don't mind that kind of a exchange. I'm more worried about like a 3-for-1 or a 4-for-1 off of a harsh rule. Using Defiance to pick off small units here is not a big problem for us.
Finest weapons in Lyria.
I've seen a lot of people running end of the story in their markets. That's definitely possible. Something to consider here.
Fire?
We've got a Great Valley Smuggler we can use to exchange something again. Can't clutch yet. I could Darya. I'm thinking really hard about what I want to do here, because there's a lot of options. I feel like Great Valley and trade for Channel might be right, but we're so far off from the Primal. Maybe just Equivocate or Excavate. I really don't like Excavate when we haven't been able to get a Diogo down yet. I almost certainly just want to do this. Let's go with attack first and see what our opponent does. Yeah.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
I also really feel like that shows they've got a board wipe. And if that's the case, do I just wait? Not do anything?
Fresh kills.
They've been stuck on power. I want to pressure them if I can. I'll grab the Equivocate. Ah, there we go. Skycrag banner. Does let us do the clutch Talons, but that's really not something we want to do now, not with how likely it is that they have a board wipe. Just get ourselves blown out. Instead, we'll just let this happen. Next turn we can Thud Rock. If we draw another power, we can also Darya. Yep. I could Equivocate a card to our hand, too. Getting, like, Caleb back might not be bad. Certainly a possibility. I think I'd rather just save it, though. Smuggler. We've got that channel still, and really nothing else. Yeah, just channel. I'm gonna Thud Rock and pass. We don't want to Howling Peak anything away. Not when we need 2 power cards still to even get to channel. It becomes a goat.
Trust in your allies.
That's fine.
Weapons in Lyria.
We can actually put the clutch on it and be in pretty decent shape against that. In fact, that is really, really close to lethal. Do I shoot the unit? Yeah, I actually do. I don't want them to have the possibility of putting a Deep Forge plate on it or something, having a Defiance to stun and save themselves for a turn or two.
In Icaria's name, you will be judged!
Sure, that's perfectly acceptable. We get to Equivocate. This is even better because we drew the power. Berserk that, and game over. 10 damage. Got pretty lucky they got stuck on power for so long. Okay, we are 2-2. This is the finals. Time for us to redeem ourselves. Hopefully get a good hand. We've definitely struggled a bit with that. This looks good. Like having the Pledge. Pledge is just so important in any of these decks that run like Bearguard Bayonet. Bearguard Bayonet is a weird card. It's either insane or not super useful at all. Play the Darya. Big question is what color. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I'm gonna go for another Primal. That way we can go Elysian Banner, Primal Sigil, Wisdom of the Elders. Oh boy. Okay, well. Hojin is scary. We've got a lot of torches and displays and things that can deal with it. We just need them to not have, like, the instant nut draw here. Yeah, as much as I would love to be able to, like, Howling Peak or Wisdom or something, I need to torch one of these. The big question is, do I torch Hojin or do I torch Milos? If they have Assembly Line, Milos is actually worse. They're both not good for us. Ugh. Sucks. I'm actually going to kill Milos. Milos has more potential upside if they're playing it here. They're both bad, though. Like, they're both really, really bad. And, yeah, there we go. Ouch. I can Equivocate. It'll take me a turn or two, though, is the problem.
No escape.
More power cards. Ugh.
A great find.
Not really what we're looking for. We do get Wisdom plus Equivocate next turn, so we're far from out of it, unless they suddenly have another, like, double pump spell here, which, hey, they might. Their hand's been very, very strong so far. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop.
Do I make
Seems
this look
okay.
No escape.
Brazen Daredevil. Huh. Maybe not that one. Nice thing about that is we do make it so that they lose the Inquisitor's Blade as well. I'm guessing they also have another trick. Oh, we equivocated them a Desert Marshal. Ugh, that sucks. Just because it's, I don't know, it's an instant threat here. I don't like that. Silencing our Howling Peak Smuggler could come into play. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ouch. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. Just another insane hand. We've had a lot of these problems. Nice. The BM to end the game. Nasty. I mean, we just needed to have another torture display or something. We've got a lot of answers to some of the early game. We just had some struggles actually drawing it. So, a little bit of some tough draws here, but I think that we had some great games too with the Diogo. When we actually managed to get Diogo on like 5 off of Glasshopper and immediately amplify, that's fantastic. We had a lot of trouble actually getting Diogo and amplifying it and then drawing the spell today. Normally it hasn't been that big of an issue, but we weren't really able to do it that often. Our curve was just always so hard to actually get going. We never had Glasshoppers or Trailmakers early. We always seemed to just be flooding or getting a little bit stuck on power, so just some awkward draws here today. But despite that, we still managed to go 2 and 3, even though we had a lot of trouble. So this deck is pretty fun. It's a lot of good mid-range value. Diogo, I think, has potential beyond just memes, just based on this deck alone. Like, we've seen how if you can get it down on turn like 6 and you immediately amplify, you can get some really, really disgusting things going. You don't have to be running a bunch of meme things. Like, there's a lot of really good spells to be playing these colors, like Display of Instinct. So you can do some good mid-range value kind of stuff. There's some changes that I would like to make, and I talk about that in the actual deck tech video. But it's a fun little list here that was made by Celtic Guardian, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I will see you again next week for another deck tech video. Thank you all again so much for stopping by, and a big shout out to all my subs and patrons and my sponsor, inkgaming.com. You should check them out down below. They have really, really cool custom gaming gear like playmats and mouse pads. They're getting t-shirts, stuff like that. And you can get a percentage off if you use my promo code. So check them out. Have a wonderful week.